Fred Porcio, TopVelocity.net. Going to do a pitch analysis here of Brendan. I'm going to pair him up with Kohi. So put them both into leg lift. Okay. Both similar leg lift positions. Kohi probably has a little bit more flexion in the drive leg because when he comes out of his leg lift, he does a good job of getting that momentum or picking up momentum in his hips. You can see he falls really aggressively, loading and leaning into his back hip. Both now kind of in the same position. You can see Kohi, because of that, has more forward momentum. So he's moving a little bit more forward and down at the same rate because you can see the shin is laying down or starting to move linear. Definitely more than Brendan here. Kohi too, more than likely looks like he's in a little bit more contralateral trunk position. Brendan looks a little bit more ipsilateral. I would even say Kohi looks a little bit more counter-rotated with the trunk. Brendan looks more in line. So you're just getting more loading. Like you can see Kohi is sitting into the back hip. You can see, really well into the posterior chain. It looks like Brendan is leaning forward more in the quads, not as much in the hip and the posterior chain. Once again, why his trunk is probably leaning forward. Kohi then really aggressive back leg drive. You can see Brendan not much power of the back leg drive. So Kohi really accelerates into front foot with a powerful back leg drive. When Brendan hits front foot strike, I would say Kohi's just slightly more shoulders closed. Brendan might actually have more open hip position. Kohi's hips aren't rotating that well here, but you can see his femur is internally rotated, so his back leg is rotated through. But I would say, if I'm stopping at the same time, you can see Brendan here is tucking gloves. So Kohi is definitely more delayed and counter-rotated in the trunk. And at this point, just because we saw Kohi better at starting momentum, getting more linear, sitting more in the posterior chain, really big dynamic back leg drive right here. He's got a lot more momentum hitting front foot than Brendan. So you're going to see, which we do here, his trunk just really jump out into external rotation. See if I can get it stopping there. It doesn't look like it wants to right now. There it is. And we can take Brendan to external rotation. So you're seeing all that momentum built off the rubber that Kohi did with his momentum and his back leg drive. You can see that pushing the trunk way forward at maximum external rotation. A good 20 degrees plus more, and that's the biggest predictor of velocities right here. So we know those that can carry those trunks a lot farther forward at maximum external rotation, and even supported with a good front leg drive, are going to be your more higher velocity guys. And then you can see Kohi at pitch release here. We see Brendan at pitch release, still a lot more vertical. Kohi's front leg even extended. So, this pitch is 95. You saw really big back leg power. You saw really big front leg power. And you're seeing the result is all that trunk momentum, that trunk energy into release. So Brendan just needs to develop the kind of leg power and athleticism Kohi has. He is a freak athlete. And then he needs to sit more in the posterior chain and implement these more powerful leg drives, and that will really create a very similar biomechanical movement as Kohi, and ultimately the same velocity.